What's going on, YouTube fam? So today I'm going to be giving you all a breakdown of my experience with the 3-day water fast that I just completed. So I'm going to be giving you all a day-by-day breakdown of exactly how I felt, why I decided to do the water fast, and the benefits of a water fast. I'll also be showing you all pictures, and I'll let you all know now my starting weight was 176.4 pounds. Once I finished fasting, I was 169 pounds. And to be exact, I did a little more than 72 hours on my fast. I actually did 80 hours total of a water fast. Now, day one, which was Saturday for me, my last meal the day before on Friday, I cut off my eating at 8 p.m. And then on Saturday, that started the water fast. So I'm a personal trainer for those of you all that don't know. So Saturday I worked from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. straight, and I only had two 15-minute breaks in there. Now, during this time, I was busy. I was constantly moving around. My mind was occupied, so I didn't even think about food or anything. I was perfectly fine. And plus, I have experience with fasting in the past. If you all have been following me for a while, you will know that I did 1 meal a day for a while. I've done 6-hour eating window, and I've done 8-hour eating window. But I've never done a fast for even 24 hours. But I'm the type to just go all in on something. So that's why I decided to do 3 days. Now, after 4 p.m., I came home. I was home around 4:30. Sat down to relax, was watching some TV, chilling with my son, and probably around 5 p.m., I started to get a slight headache. And so I went to go get sea salt, took a pinch of sea salt, drank some water with that, and I was fine. A couple hours later, starts to get a little more of a headache, took some sea salt, drank some water, I was fine. Now, towards the evening, I want to say about 8:30 or 9 p.m., my body was starting to ache some. So I have steps in my house. So when I was going up the steps, it wasn't like a sore feeling from lifting weights. It was just like aching. That's the best way to describe it. So went to sleep, woke up on Sunday, and Sunday was a completely different day, Sunday being day two. Now, mind you, I have a 3-month-old son, so I don't get to sleep through the night ever right now. Um, Sunday, I was home all day. I don't work on Sundays. I do stuff for my online clients, but that's it. So I'm home on Sunday, and the day seemed like it was just dragging on. And I know it's because I wasn't really busy doing much. But Sunday, day two, I was very hungry. I got to the point where I was like, man, I just want to taste coffee. I just wanted like some coffee. I got to the point where I didn't even care about having food. I'm like, man, just give me some coffee and I'll be able to push through it. So day two was more of a mental thing for me. That's where I had to, show some discipline and tell myself, look, I've done much harder things than this, like way harder than this. I can get through this. Drink some water, push through it, embrace the struggle, and it will get better. So day two, it was just, I was hungry. I didn't even move much on day two. I was pretty much on the couch and I was watching the football games, but it seems like every commercial was about food. Pizza, wings, more pizza, more wings. And I'm like, how is every commercial about food? It kind of explains the obesity rates that we see, but that's a story for another day. I think that's like completely ridiculous that you show so much food and none of the food was even healthy food. There was no commercials for healthy food. It's like really mind blowing when you think about it. Again, like I said, that's a video for that's a topic for another video. I will discuss that in the future, how I think it's just almost set up for you to be unhealthy because it just doesn't make sense to me. Now Sunday, I did not have any coffee. I didn't have anything. I did not have any caffeine. Didn't break the fast. I stuck with the water because, again, I had to implement that discipline. Now, when I went to sleep on Sunday night, my son woke up around 2 a.m., which would technically be Monday morning. Once I woke up at 2 a.m., I felt completely fine. I felt like normal. I had energy. I wasn't hungry. And this was at 2 a.m. So I was like, wow, that's shocking. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Saturday I didn't work out at all, but I was on my feet moving around all day. Sunday night before I went to bed, I just did 2 sets of 20 push-ups, just mainly to see how they felt. I honestly didn't want to do too much because I'm like, I don't want to do anything crazy and end up lightheaded or anything. All right, so back to 2 a.m. on Monday morning. Woke up, fed my son, he went back to sleep. Then when I woke up that morning, I felt perfectly fine. I was not hungry or anything. I was not thirsty. My body wasn't aching. So I did a workout, a full body workout on Monday morning, but I kept it super light. Now, when I was using the weights, when I say super light, I was using like 10 pounds for like split squats just to get movement. I was doing kettlebell shoulder press with 15 pounds. Nothing, actually 20 pounds. So nothing heavy at all. But my body felt every single rep. Like it just felt like I was just sore. Like my body was just sore on every rep. So I'm like, okay, I can make it through the workout, but that was a reminder for myself. Don't push too hard. Don't do anything crazy. This is the last day. You just have to make it through the last day. Now, I did the whole workout. I didn't even realize it that I didn't have any water or anything. So afterwards, I got some water and then I just continued on about my day. Around 2 p.m. that day, I had a client. And with this client, I do mitts. I hold mitts for. Now, when we got to the portion where I was holding the mitts for, her punches felt stronger than normal. Like her punches felt definitely heavier than normal. And I was feeling the impact from her punches like in my arms. So fatigue was setting in for me at that point. Like I wasn't hungry or anything, but I was just like fatigued. That's the best way to describe it. So after that client, I went and sat in my car for like the next hour, just relaxed, watched some YouTube videos, and then I went back into the gym. I had one more client, and with this client, I held mitts for him as well. Same thing, the impact in my arms, things just felt heavy. So I'm like, okay, I'm fatigued. You just have to make it through the day. It won't be bad. So when I got home Monday evening, I got home around 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. And the time was just dragging. I'm like, all right, like technically at 8 p.m., my wife was like, that's 72 hours. You can break your fast. But I was like, no, I'm want to wait till the next day. I'm like, my son's going to wake up and needs to be fed anyway. So whenever he wakes up, that's when I'll eat. So I had got bone broth and everything. I had planned it out like, oh, he'll wake up around 2. I'll make the bone broth. I'll have that. Then at like 4 a.m., I'll have a meal before I have to be at the gym at 5:30 a.m. So went to sleep that night. My son did not wake up until 3:20 a.m. So he woke up at 3:20. I fed him from 3:20 to 4 a.m. And then I was like, okay, well, if I do the bone broth, I'm not going to have time to have a meal before I go to the gym to start training. And my first break was not until 9:30. So I was like, and honestly, this is one thing I should not have done. So I made it 80 hours in the fast. But when I broke my fast, I had Gatorade and a pancake and a half that my wife had from like 2 days prior, because I was like, I don't know if the bone broth would give me enough energy to make it 4 hours straight. But I'm sure I would have been fine. And once I had the pancake, it was like I didn't even enjoy eating it. Like I was like, why am I eating this? So benefits of the 3-day water fast. Definitely cleared up my brain fog. I'm a lot more focused. My mind is clear. I'm able to focus on my task completely. I noticed that really on day 3, because day 2 was just such a rough day for me. I really couldn't focus on anything. I was just trying to get through it. Also, inflammation. I had inflammation in my stomach that was bad. I was feeling it. And then I know, like, when I start losing visibility in my abs, I know that's definitely a sign. Now, the past 2 weeks, I did start cleaning up what I was eating and stuff, but last year it was a lot going on last year. My son was born. He was in the NICU for 45 days. So I'm eating hospital food every day. I'm eating fast food. I'm eating just what I can, working, going to the hospital, to back to work. So I was just trying to get by. So now I'm like, it's time to get things back under control. Get myself disciplined. My son is completely healthy. Be a good example for him. And like day 2, when I was going through that, and I'm like, man, this is tough. I was just looking at my son like, man, what type of example would I be for my son if I were to just give in on day 2? So it's a lot of stuff that I was able to tell myself mentally to help me push through it. So it wasn't easy by any means necessary, but again, it wasn't the hardest thing that I've done. So that was also like a mental aspect of it as well. Let me see, the other benefits to it is, and I don't feel this, but autophagy, which is like the cell repair. That's another benefit to 3-day water fasting. So some people, when they do a 3-day fast, they like to do the bone broth. Maybe when I do it next time, I'll try that. But I wanted to do just a straight water fast just to put myself through it, get that discipline back instilled in me. And now I'm going to continue fasting, but I'll be doing like an 8-hour eating window each day. On certain days, I'll do a 6, but keep an eating window so that way I'm not eating at all times of the day. Set an eating window, stick to it, and that's going to help me not only stay lean, but it's also going to help me keep a clear mind, stay focused, and not lose sight of what my goals are, and just continue to look to excel in life. So I share a lot of what I went through on my Instagram stories. I wanted to put out more of a long form video for you all, just so you all can hear what my day by day was and how exactly I felt each day. Again, this is not medical advice at all. Honestly, most medical professionals would probably advise against this, but I'm not a person that necessarily listens to medical professionals always. Sometimes I just try things for myself, and sometimes they work. I haven't had any bad experiences where stuff didn't work, but I definitely want to reiterate, this is not medical advice, so don't just go try a 3-day water fast. I want to let you all know that I did have experience with fasting for many years prior to this, just nothing this long. So if you have additional questions, please leave them down below. Subscribe to the channel, share this video with others if they're interested in fasting, or kind of what the symptoms are and the results of a water fast. And I'll be sure to answer all the comments down below. Oh, and last but not least, I know people do care about the weight loss. I lost a total of 7.4 pounds. So nothing too crazy, but I mean, for 80 hours, that's pretty impressive. All right. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Catch you all in the next one. Peace.